today. Let me bring my lights a little closer. It could also be the camera I'm using. Hey, thanks for joining in. I'm just going live on Facebook as well. Yes, let's go live on Facebook. What is going on, bosses? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. So today is the final day of 5 Habits of Highly Successful Freelancers. I've been doing this series since last Thursday. I wasn't able to come on yesterday because, hey, hello, Adevia, how are you? Hey, Chakra, it's good to see both of you. It's good to see both of you. Awesome. I'm so happy that you guys could join me. Anyway, so today is the last day of this series that I'm doing called 5 Habits of Highly Successful Freelancers. And I wanted to come and actually I have 3 last tips. I had 5 tips. I gave the first 3 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And yesterday I wasn't able to come on just because it was Sunday. I was getting ready to go to church. There were so many things going on. So unfortunately, I was not able to jump on in the morning. So today I'm going to give you the tip for yesterday, today. And so there will be 2 tips, and then I'll have an extra tip to help you. Okay. So if you've been with me since last Thursday and you haven't watched the videos, I highly encourage you to go watch those videos. All right. I talk about the first three tips in there, and I don't want to go over it. All right. Today I don't want to go backtrack. So number 4 tip. All right, are you ready? Number 4. If you're ready, just drop me a comment there. If you're on Facebook, just say hey. It says make efficiency your highest priority. And what I did was, and to just kind of backtrack for a minute, what I did was I reached out to my friends who are freelancers, and these freelancers make anywhere between $2,000 and $20,000 per month freelancing. And so I asked them what their biggest tips were, and they were kind enough to send me answers. Okay, and I have shared those answers since Thursday. So number 4 tip is make efficiency your highest priority. All right, and what does that mean? When I and this was given to me by Ben Luthi from benluthi.com or benluthi.co, and he was, he also makes around I want to say between 5,000 and 10,000 every single month with freelance writing. And he says, if you don't freelance full time, you have very little time to build your business. Look for ways to become more efficient without cutting corners on quality. And so my take on that is that he's absolutely right? For a lot of us that still have 9-to-5 jobs, when we're doing this on the side, it's important that we become efficient. It's important that we do everything that we can to become faster at your work. Because here's what will happen. When you get faster at your work, not only will it save you time, it will also make you more money. Because if you're able to, so let's say, for instance, for me as a writer, right? If I'm able to produce like 1,000-word post, if I get efficient to the point where I can do my research and write a 1,000-word post within an hour, which is usually what it takes for me. It takes me between an hour and 2 hours to do all the research and to write, like a 1,000-word post that is ready to be published. Okay. So if now I'm able to take that time down to, let's say, 45 minutes, what's happening is that I am actually increasing my hourly rate. And so if I was originally making maybe $50 an hour from, the 2 hours I just spent, now if I have concentrated that down to 45 minutes because I've gotten faster and more efficient, then that means that I'm getting paid more than $100 an hour, right? So it's important that you think of it that way. So now you're going to increase your hourly rate. That's number 1. You'll get faster at your work, and so you'll be able to churn out work faster. And it's more likely that you will get more work, which will also add to your bank account. So being efficient is going to benefit you on so many levels. All right. And so for those of you that are web designers, social media managers, like I use some of those as examples because, they're easy. But for a social media manager, maybe getting a particular scheduling tool will make your work more efficient. So you're not sitting there tweeting all the time or posting to Facebook all the time. Or you can, if you use a tool like Hootsuite, where when you connect all your social media accounts, you can actually answer comments within Hootsuite. Then you don't have to go onto Instagram and Facebook and Twitter to answer comments. You can just open one dashboard and do all of that in there. So becoming efficient is really important important as a freelancer, and that should become like like Ben said, it should become one of your highest priorities. For writers, maybe learning keyboard shortcuts. That could be another way. Like I used to like actually hit copy and paste, and then I was like, what is this? This is craziness. Why don't you just learn some keyboard shortcuts and get this thing underway? So I ended up learning a lot of keyboard shortcuts to make my writing more efficient. So there are different ways. So if you're a freelancer, I want you to think of, or if you're planning on becoming a freelancer, I want you to think of ways that you can become more efficient, ways that you can become better, because when you can become better and when you become more efficient, you get more done. Okay. Then this last tip comes from Lindsay Van Sommeren, who Lindsay was actually my roommate at a recent blogging conference. I went to FinCon 2017, and Lindsay was my roommate. She's really nice, and she's a fellow scientist. And she is currently writing full time, and she was nice enough to send me an answer. Yes, keyboard shortcuts are so important, Chakra. I cannot even like tell people how important that is. Yep, I totally agree with you. All right, so Lindsay says, my biggest tip for success is to find the highest paying niche you are happy to work in. The highest paying niche you're happy to work in. This takes a little bit of trial and error to find. I agree. All right. So for example, she gives us an example. For example, I love science writing, but let's be honest, it doesn't pay that well. I'm happy writing about personal finance too, and that pays way better. It's also okay to mix and match. For me, personal finance writing is about 80% of what I do, but I also mix it up with other projects that interest me. It is a continually evolving process to find new niches to write in, but having the personal finance side has always boosted my income and provided me the freedom to explore other fun but lower paying types of writing. So that's a really, really good answer that Lindsay gave. And Lindsay is also around that 10K mark when it comes to making money as a freelancer. So what Lindsay is saying here is that you need to find, so at the end of the day, you need to be able to pay your bills, right? Like this is why we're all doing this. We have to pay our bills. We have to feed our kids. We have to clothe them. So it's important that you find the highest paying niche in your in whatever it is you're doing. So for instance, I know that a lot of people that do Facebook ads, they tend to gravitate towards people like real estate agents, because real estate agents always need to get leads and leads and eyes on their homes, right? So if you're a Facebook ad strategist, a freelancer, then you're going to move towards that niche because they're always looking for that kind of help. If you are a writer, I will say this, if you're a writer, healthcare writing is very lucrative. It's not easy to come by. But healthcare writing is quite lucrative. And also personal finance I agree with her that personal finance is very lucrative. And so if you're able to find banks or accounting firms or even personal finance bloggers that need ghostwriters, you can make quite a bit of money. For web designers, I don't know what is good for web designers, but let's just take an example. Maybe for web designers, small businesses like dentist offices or doctors' offices may be more profitable for you. So you have to, whatever it is you're doing as a freelancer, you have to find what is the most profitable thing or the most profitable niche in whatever it is you're doing, and gravitate towards it and find out ways how you can find more clients who do that. And to be honest with you, that is not that hard. So let me give you an example. So recently, I gotta get a drink of water. Recently, I started to focus more on health writing because my entire background is healthcare and science, right? That's what I have. All my degrees are in the sciences and healthcare. So I wanted to focus more on writing for the healthcare niche. So I began to reach out. I actually set up a website, Nontra Health Writing. You can actually go check it out. Nontra Health Writing, I set it up and I began to advertise myself to people as a health writer. And the moment I did that, the moment I started saying, oh, I'm a health writer, people were like, oh, I know somebody, and all of a sudden, people were really open to like just sending me referrals that, oh, this person is starting a health website and they need some writers. Do you want to go write for them? And that's how I've gotten one of my most recent clients. I reached out to another lady, I put it on Craigslist. And by the time I realized that I already had 3 clients in the healthcare niche, and that was within the space of maybe a month. So here's the thing, like, you need to choose a niche where people are hungry and where people are willing to pay you. If you choose something where people are kind of like I don't need a website, I don't need blog posts, maybe not. When you choose niches like that, you're never going to get paid. You're going to get stuck. And even though that may be a niche you enjoy, it will end up not paying you well and you'll end up getting frustrated. So find the highest paying niche and then do work for them. It doesn't mean that you cannot, if you are a Facebook ad strategist and you're doing things for real estate agents, it doesn't mean that you can't do for anything for people in healthcare. It doesn't mean you can't do anything for people in business. It just means that you kind of have a focus so that when people think about you, all right, in that niche, they think about, oh, Chakra does this. Oh, Gertrude does this. Gertrude is a health writer. Let me send this over to her. So you want to identify yourself with a niche, but you also want to identify yourself with a niche that pays well, so that when people think about you, so like I was just giving you the example, the moment because I was writing, I've been writing and I still write for across the board. I write different things for different people. But the moment I said I'm a healthcare writer, all of a sudden people's like, some kind of light switched on in people's heads. Oh, so every time somebody comes across somebody that is in healthcare or has a healthcare-based business and they need somebody to write for them, immediately I'm the one that comes to mind within my network. So you want to do that. You want to be known for a niche, but you also want to be known for a niche that pays well. You want people to pay you well. Okay. All right. So do I think real estate writing works? I think it does. I think real estate agents, though, let me tell you something about real estate agents. I feel like real estate agents are targeted a lot. So sometimes they're very wary. But if you can prove to them that you can do the work, that's what it comes down to, right? If you prove to them. So I would say create some samples, create some real estate writing samples, and then start reaching out to real estate agents. That's the best thing. Because I know that some real estate agents do have blogs. There are some big real estate companies. One doesn't come to mind off the top of my head, but I know that I've seen it where they have blogs. They have these kind of blogs. And sometimes a lot of these big blogs that are like personal finance or real estate or healthcare, they need writers. To be honest, they need writers, but they don't put it out there. But if you reach out to somebody, they'll tell you, oh yeah, Cochrane. Is it Cochrane? I don't think it's Cochrane. Cochrane is what Barbara Cochrane's company. No, I don't think it's Cochrane. It was another real estate something. They had a blog and I went there because I was doing some research for a client. So I ended up going there. So you want to create your sample. So if you want to write for real estate people, create some samples. That's the biggest thing. Create samples and then send those samples off. And once you do that, then people begin to notice you as that thing. But if you don't have any samples and you come to me and I'm a real estate agent and you're trying to tell me, hey, I can do this, I'm like, okay, where's your proof? So create some samples, create 1 or 2 samples, whether that's on LinkedIn or Medium or whatever, create some samples so that you can have that to send over. But I think it can be lucrative. Yeah. What's your first line when you're little? Yeah. Go ahead and do it. It does not hurt. That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't hurt. And that's my last tip I'm going to share with you. Something that has helped me a lot is always be prospecting, right? Always be prospecting. And prospecting doesn't mean that you're always shooting off like slimy emails to people to request for work. That's not what it means. It means that you're constantly letting people know on an everyday basis that you are a professional. All right. And so I let people know, I say, hey, I'm a freelance writer. Sometimes people ask me, oh, Gertrude, what are you up to these days? I'm like, yeah, I still have a full-time job, but I always say to people, oh, well, I'm a freelance writer and I'm a blogger. And if you know anybody that needs help, then, send them over to me. So immediately you plant in people's head that you're a freelance writer, even if people within your immediate vicinity or people in your immediate network do not hire you. And I've had people in my immediate network hire me and pay me. All right. And that's interesting because, I'm African, and sometimes there's a joke that we have, like, sometimes Africans, we don't pay our fellow or friends that are business owners, but I haven't had that experience. A few people have tried to pull that, but I didn't mind them. But essentially, letting people in your network know that you are a freelancer, that you are doing something that people are paying you for. I think that's important because, like I was saying, now when you let people know that you are a web designer, you let people know that you're doing social media, you let people know that you're doing video. When people are thinking of people to refer work to, when they happen to be at their workplace, or they go to the gym, or they're at the playground with their kids, and somebody casually says to them, wow, my business, we really need some photographers right now. You are a photographer. You have told your friends that you're a photographer. That person is immediately going to say, well, if they're a good friend in general, they're going to say, well, I have a friend that's a photographer. Do you want me to put you guys in touch? And when you have warm leads like that, when you have people that come to you because of referrals, people are more likely to trust you. People are more likely to, I know her friend. I know her friend, so I'm pretty sure that she's reliable or he's reliable. So tell your friends before you start using websites like Upwork or Fiverr, or even reaching out to find your own clients, which I've talked about. I have a video on this channel on YouTube, for those of you on Facebook, or on YouTube, called 7 ways to find your first 7 ways to find your first clients. You can go watch that video to get more tips. All right. Once you do that, you begin to get clients. And it becomes an amazing thing. So I will say that always be prospecting, be talking to people, be looking out online, join communities. Joining, there was a writing community I joined, and it was part of a course I bought. And the course that I bought was Earn More Writing. I can leave the link in the description below this video. Earn More Writing by Holly Porter Johnson. She was one of the people that gave me tips for this video series. And one of the things that she has is a Facebook group as part of the course. And so I joined the Facebook group as part of the course. And let me tell you that one of my highest paying clients for the past year came because Holly posted contact information. She was just like, hey, this person is looking for a writer. Who is up for it? I emailed the person loved me, and we've had a working relationship for the past 1 year. Recently, I got another client that was a direct result of her posting in the group. And because of that, it's given me a lot of confidence. And now I've built up my portfolio. I've been building my portfolio for over a year now. So I built up that portfolio. And now I'm very, very confident in going out there to get jobs. So joining online communities, Facebook communities, networking, going to blogging conferences. Okay. If you've never been to a blogging conference, if you've never been to a conference in your industry, I highly recommend it. It does involve some kind of investment, but it's going to be way worth it. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are sometimes afraid to invest in themselves. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Okay. Don't be afraid. Invest in yourself. It is going to pay off 100 times over. So anyways, that's my last tip I'll leave for you. That's my last tip for this series. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Those of you on Facebook and those of you on Facebook and YouTube, give me a thumbs up. But it's going to serve you very, very well in the long run. So don't despise it. Don't try to hide it from people. Just tell people. People will laugh at you in the beginning, but when the money comes in, guess who has the last laugh? You. All right. So thank you guys so much. I hope that this series was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments, those of you that will watch this on the replay, let me know in the comments if this series was helpful, if you would like to see more of this kind of live video. I know I've had challenges with doing live video on YouTube, and even with Facebook I was having problems because I've been doing lives on my iPad, and the videos I feel that they're not showing up so well, but I was still able to come on for the past few days and share my heart with you. And you know what, guys, this is stuff that I know that people go and pay people thousands of dollars for to give them this exact information. And this is information from real life, freelancers who are doing the work. And so all the tips I gave to you, they're really legit. They're really solid. Please apply them. Don't take them for granted. I have this feeling always that people will listen to free content and will not implement it, but will go spend $2,000 on something they don't need. And that takes away from their bottom line. I don't know. I feel like I'm preaching here, but you get the point. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, once again, thumbs it up. Also share it. I would love for you to share this video with somebody. Just copy the link and share it with somebody so that they're also getting this knowledge. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a happy Monday.